The story is about the awakening journey of an unfortunate young man named Taehyun. From being considered a waste of society at that time, he accidentally became the chosen one to awaken and possess enough strength and confidence to become a skilled awakener. At that time, when the eerie light enveloped, it was also when the monsters appeared. They attacked humans, extremely ferocious and ready to kill everything they considered prey. Humans, for survival, will have to stand up against it, even if they don't know what the outcome will be, but it's still better than just folding their arms waiting for someone else to come to the rescue. Even if no one saves them, they are forced to face the monsters themselves. And he, Taehyun, is no exception, knowing that this battle is unfair, but he still tries his best with the weapon in his hand. Looking at his appearance, he must be an ordinary person, unlike professional awakeners who can easily defeat monsters. But somehow, Taehyun approached the enemy and was able to stab a knife into the mouth of the giant monster, when its mouth was wide open as if it wanted to swallow him into its stomach. Its sharp teeth and disgusting drool are enough to scare people to death. He took a risk. If it didn't die then he would die, at least he should try it once. And after that desperate attack, the monster fell down. Its body was so heavy that it made everything around seem to crack and collapse, dust flying all over. Fortunately, the fatal knife was able to take it down. At this point, Taehyun was also about to exhaust. He sat next to the corpse, and panted heavily. Finally, he killed a monster by himself. But right then, someone called him, but with an extremely unpleasant voice, "Hey, you stupid ordinary guy, why are you still sitting there?" It turns out they are Taehyun's teammates, skilled warriors. They have defeated many monsters, and are standing on the pile of corpses to insult. Society is like that, talented people always give themselves the right to look down on others. What the hell are you doing? If you are a porter, then do your job, and collect items quickly. Don't you see the monster corpses everywhere, or do you want us to do it ourselves? Do you think we hired you here to sit and play? Hearing that, Taehyun immediately apologized to them, because it seems he knew he just did something that a porter should not do. They kept cursing, "It's a useless porter, why is there such a thing as ordinary people in this world? People like him are only worthy of being porters, not to accumulate anything." Taehyun went silent when he heard those insults. Clearly they didn't see him as a teammate. To them, this person is just a handyman, responsible for cleaning up the battlefield. Damn it, Taehyun could only vent his anger with those two words, and couldn't do anything else, because the world has changed since the abyss appeared. The definition of talent and uselessness has also become different from the old days. The story starts from when the abyss appears. The abyss is where the monsters will overflow. Seemingly those things only exist in novels, or fictional stories, but now they have come and changed the world. After the abyss was discovered, as a natural law, humans also began to adapt by awakening extraordinary powers, and with that power, they destroyed monsters and exploited potential from the abyss. These people are called by many names such as awakeners, hunters, or warriors. Thanks to that, the evaluation of a person no longer depends on personality or effort, but on the rank and awakening power. If the awakening rank is higher, then that person will have a better life, receive respect. Otherwise, they will live a life of humiliation and contempt. The porter guy was thinking about that while collecting the spoils. Many people have successfully awakened. They are talented and considered as heroes. They stand on the peak of glory. They are pursued, admired, but not him. He is just a porter of the awakeners, and an ordinary person. He can't even open the character index window even though he is 35 years old. While outside, they have awakened early, sometimes only in their teens or 20s, they have become masters. As long as he has not awakened, he cannot escape from this life. Anyway, he still has to quickly clean up this place first. Having said that, he turned to tell everyone that he had collected the spoils. But no one reacted at all. The boy looked carefully and was shocked to see the scene in front of him. All of them had been killed. There was blood and corpses everywhere. Who did this? In a blink of an eye, without a sound, but could sweep this place into a ghost field. What happened? Are they dead? He hadn't recovered yet when a terrifying voice rang out saying, "You will be the last one." It was the voice of that horror, a skull-headed female monster with a surging demonic energy in her body. The tall body with many arms spread out as if to catch the prey immediately. Its name is Asmodeus, rank SSS. Those hunters are not its opponents, so Taehyun himself is nothing more than a mosquito. But if he runs away now, he might not escape. Rather die a glorious death. Anyway, he has nothing to lose, so he drew his sword and rushed to attack the monster. With such a weak opponent, the monster doesn't need to do much. Just a swing of its arm is enough to butcher the prey. As predicted, Taehyun hadn't done anything yet when he was thrown away by the monster's magic. He was injured and fell right under its feet. What the hell is this? It's too powerful. I have to find a way. I can't just lie down and wait to die. But with its cruelty, it certainly won't let the prey have a chance to escape. It uses a demonic lightning bolt to kill him and turn him into a skull, like the jewelry on its body. That will be a painful and horrific death. Being hit by a lightning bolt in the middle of the forehead, blood began to pour out, the boy's body couldn't even move anymore. The last remaining thoughts also flashed in his head. Tears began to flow, blood kept pouring out all over his face, flowing down his body. What is this? How can I die like this? Is my life not miserable enough? All my family members died in a traffic accident. When I was in school I was bullied. When I grew up I had to live the life of an ordinary person, being trampled on until now. So I was killed by it while I was just a porter. Why did God treat me like this? Right now, the most painful thing for Taehyun is the memory of his miserable life. I don't know when he got used to the way others called him inferior, dead dog, useless ordinary person. The mocking laughter, those hateful sounds are like rubbing salt into his soul. It seemed that death was imminent, his teeth clenched, suppressing the physical and mental pain. If he died with this face, others would know how he had suffered. Just as darkness collapsed in the boy's eyes, his last drop of blood fell, touched the ground and suddenly lit up. Wait, what is that light? Is it a miracle that has appeared? Is it possible that all awakening conditions have been met? From that miraculous miracle, there appeared steps with a dazzling halo, leading to a god. The boy opened his eyes wide to look at everything around and his mind was even more confused. What is this? Have I gone to heaven? This scene is strange, I have never seen it before. But it seems not, I'm not dead yet, I'm sure I was about to die at the hands of that monster earlier, just a little more and I will lose consciousness. But why does it suddenly stand still? It stops, why does it spare me? Taehyun turned his head to look at the monster standing still as if time was frozen. He also saw the image of himself who had fallen, his body full of blood. In his head, he only wondered why Asmodeus stopped, and forgot about other things. He was so stunned that the god had to say, you don't wonder who I am, where I come from, why I come, but go pay attention to Asmodeus being stopped. At this point, the boy was startled, turned to look at him and hesitated to ask who he was, but the god seemed unwilling to reveal. He just answered casually, who knows who I am? Some people call me king, but you don't have to worry about it, that doesn't matter. What matters is that from now on I will grant you power. The guy was stunned again and thought to himself, he is a king, what power does he give me, what is he saying, is it true, is he the one who stopped Asmodeus? But indeed nothing can pass the eyes of the gods. Everything Taehyun thought in his head was all read by the king. Hey, your suspicion is not good, I know it all. I commend your will and perseverance, so I came here to choose you. However, you better think that this miracle will not happen a second time. This is the only chance for you to remake yourself. Hearing this, the boy was startled. Wait a minute. You chose me, what is that? What do I have for you to choose? The king just laughed and said, just be patient, there will be a day when you understand everything I say. See you later, good luck. My key. After saying that, the king and the halo gradually disappeared in the boy's astonishment. He still didn't understand what was happening to him. Perhaps this was just a dream, or worse, it could be the dying dream of the poor guy. At that time, he heard someone's voice in his ear. Hey, this guy is still sleeping. Is this place for him to sleep? This crazy dog. Now he even dares to ignore us, boss. Should we wake him up? Taehyun slowly opened his eyes and saw a few guys standing in front of him. He hadn't had time to see who they were, and didn't understand what was going on, when those guys approached, greeted him rudely by adding a slap in the face to wake him up. Sleeping, are you willing to get up yet, you bastard? The guy grabbed his collar and still had a triumphant voice. Oh my, you like to be beaten before you listen, because an ordinary person like you needs to be disciplined to behave. At this point, Taehyun had recognized his face. This is Bae Hyuksu. Why is the guy who bullied me in high school here? Taehyun thought he was dreaming again. The others stood around laughing, while that guy kept slapping Taehyun and asked, why don't you answer, are you mute? Why am I here? Why is he also here? Isn't I at the place of the monster and some kind of king? Am I dreaming? But being slapped by him hurts like this, surely not dreaming. Is there some kind of miracle happening to me? Wait, power, did he really give me power? At this moment, the boy opened his eyes wide and was even more surprised to see what was in front of him. Information related to Taehyun began to appear, such as name, age, rank, skills. This is the index window. Why do I see this? But why is my age 19, not 35? Isn't that a story from 16 years ago? If it's true as I think, this means I have awakened, definitely. Taehyun laughed happily, laughed like he had never laughed before, laughed like he had just found a treasure, making those guys not understand what was going on. Who would laugh like that when being beaten? Damn it, what's wrong with this guy? He must be crazy, or he wants to provoke the boss. While everyone was stunned, Taehyun kept laughing, making Hyuksu furious, thinking he was laughing provocatively. "You bastard, are you eager to be beaten?" After saying that, he rushed to slap a few more times on the poor boy's face. But no, now Taehyun is no longer the same. He is not a weak guy who has always been bullied for the past 19 years, now let's see. Taehyun made the first move, punched the bastard in the face, causing him to fly several feet away. The two guys who went along were also pale, gaping in shock. How dare he fight back the boss, he's really crazy. Because from the beginning, when seeing the index window, Taehyun realized something interesting. The fact that I can see the index window means I can also awaken. I have never felt so confident and exhilarated. As if reborn, to be more precise, I had the opportunity to go back to the past to remake my life, but the power and skills are many times higher than my old self. 19 years ago, these three guys kept bullying me. Now it's time to teach them a lesson, pay off old grudges all at once. At this moment, he dared to slap me a few times. My face still hurts. You guys have been bullying me for a long time. Taehyun stood up ready to fight. Seeing Hyuksu got punched and flattened, the other two guys rushed over. They looked a bit brave. It seemed they had awakened a long time ago. "Kim Taehyun, you bastard, have you lost your mind? This nameless little guy, dare to mess with us. Do you know who we are? But it's not easy to bully me anymore." Taehyun dodged to one side, causing the black-haired guy to stagger. Then he delivered a beautiful knockout punch, crushing his opponent before he could unleash his firepower on him. The blue-haired guy also rushed up. He shot sharp ice shards at Taehyun, but it won't work. Because as a person who has lived for 35 years, throughout his life as a person who cannot awaken, being despised, even as an ordinary person, I have done everything I can. From daily physical training to learning all available information about the abyss and monsters, collecting knowledge about different skills. Even real combat martial arts. So there's no way I'm going to lose to a bunch of greenhorn thugs like you guys. You guys don't even know a basic thing. You guys are just good at bullying the weak. I will punch each of you a few times to let you guys see that I am not the old me anymore. That's right, the outcome like this is quite deserved. The first time I got to fight back these guys, it was really cool, but I also have to practice again. Just woke up and encountered all sorts of nonsense. Taehyun was about to leave when he saw Hyuksu standing up. He even mocked. "Wow, look who it is. Am I mistaken? Have you awakened? You son of a bitch, dare to hit your grandfather, you're dead." He immediately activated his sea-level stone skin skill, strengthening his body to become tough by forming layers of stone on his skin, covering the whole body like a solid armor. Such armor will withstand the physical blows of the enemy, and those hard attacks will be a dangerous weapon. Stone fists continuously poured towards Taehyun. If it was an ordinary person, just one hit from him would be enough to crack the skull, smash the face. Taehyun quickly dodged, left then right, above then below. He's pretty good, attacking fast and decisive. It's really troublesome. I can't just dodge like this, I have to find a gap to attack. While Taehyun was thinking to find a way, the stone skin guy jumped up high. He would concentrate all his strength to finish off the enemy. His landing was so terrifying that it shattered everything, as if a meteorite had just fallen and devastated this place. In the thick smoke of the ruins, he thought it seemed like he had crushed the bastard Taehyun. But no, he had managed to run out of his sight and was preparing to ambush from behind. "Hyuksu, you bastard, you want to kill me, huh? Look at this." Taehyun flew in and punched the villain. "But wait, something's wrong. Why does it hurt so much? I'm bleeding." "Haha, you fool, what are you trying to do? Want to use an egg to fight a rock?" Now Taehyun realized he had been too careless, forgetting that his body was all stone. Who would use bare hands to hit stone? Hitting him hurt me. Then the stone skin guy used his muscular arm to punch Taehyun in the stomach, causing him to fly out. The attack was so strong that it shattered all the bricks around where Taehyun fell. If he didn't cough up blood, it would be strange. Literally the meaning of using an egg to fight a rock. Taehyun was in pain and coughing up blood continuously. The innate strength of Hyuksu is quite high, so Taehyun was probably seriously injured. Hee, if you're going to play tricks, you should know your own strength, kiddo. You're awake now, aren't you? Get up quickly and continue playing with me. Isn't it you who wants to resist? Hey you, the damn unawakened one at the bottom of society. What are you going to do now? Continue running like you just did? Or are you going to wave your arms and legs, making a fool of yourself with your pathetic awakening skills? You're not skilled enough to fight me. Taehyun also understands this failure, because the gap in level is something that cannot be ignored in a fight. All awakened ones possess a skill and a certain rank. The lowest is rank F, which is like a normal person, to the highest rank S, which includes individuals fighting in the territory of entities called monsters. At that time, the physical abilities and skills of the awakened increase exponentially compared to normal people. Everyone will have their own skill, also known as a special move, but the skill I possess is hunting, which is a skill that no one knows and no one has heard of before. Moreover, it's at the lowest level. I don't know how to use it and what effect it has. Theoretically, I don't have even a chance of winning against Hyuksu, who is at rank C. But I don't know why I'm full of confidence in myself at this moment. I don't feel like I'm going to lose to you, Hyuksu. At this moment, a stream of bright red demonic energy radiates around Taehyun, urging him to stand up and resist. Hyuksu glares, "What the hell is that? What do you want to do? No way, you've really awakened, but you're just a Taehyun at the bottom of society." Taehyun feels his hand full of strength. Is this the hunting skill? I can feel the magic going into my will. From now on, no one has the right to say that about me. Who are you saying is at the bottom of society? Even though I don't know what's happening right now, I think it's time to end the fight with you. I just need to kill a stone-faced guy like you and everything will be fine. Being provoked by someone who just awakened, there's no reason for a rank C awakened like Hyuksu to stand still and wait for the other person to attack first. He rushed forward and intended to punish Taehyun, but he put out his magical hand to block. Both sides compete with each other with internal strength. Taehyun has physical strength, hunting, and the determination to win. If he doesn't win this time, he won't have any honor or opportunity to stand up anymore. That strength burned Hyuksu's stone arm. What? It can withstand my move. How can this earth-headed guy do it? Even Taehyun doesn't know why his strength has increased so much. Several minutes have passed, and the two sides are still unable to determine the victory or defeat. It's time to end. I have to finish him, end the life being looked down upon by others from this moment. Taehyun clenched his fist, concentrating all the magical strength in his body on his hand. That strength is so terrifying that it peels off the thick stone skin all over Hyuksu's body. His body hurts as if someone is skinning him, beating scales. At this time, the students in the school were still busy with their own things. No one noticed what was happening on the rooftop. Taehyun's demonic energy initially was as small as blood threads, but when he reached his utmost rage, it became so terrifying. The red color covered a corner of the sky. The stone skin had been broken and shattered into thousands of pieces, all strangely absorbed into Taehyun's body. Then the hunting demonic energy began to cool down and gradually disappeared. Taehyun used his awakening to fight and defeat his first enemy. The loser was lying flat under his feet. This time the villain could not get up anymore. He had truly lost. Unexpectedly, Taehyun's mysterious return changed everything, at least the matter of defeating Hyuksu. At this time, the hunting skill was perfected. Thanks to hunting the prey, his rank changed from F to E, and he also learned a new skill, that is stone skin. This move of Taehyun can not only defeat the opponent without using weapons, but also acquire the enemy's skills for himself. This means that if he hunts different prey, then Taehyun will have all their skills, a powerful way to steal moves. But anyway, this place is a school, so it can't just be left like that, so after the fight, Taehyun went to the school's infirmary. The teacher on duty there saw someone coming. She looked out the door and was stunned to see 4 injured people crawling. A weak student, carrying 2 black-headed and red-headed guys on his shoulders. A blue-headed guy fell right at the entrance. Taehyun looked up and greeted the teacher. His appearance couldn't be worse. His hair was messy, blood and dirt all over his body. He was about to collapse. The teacher was shocked, stood agape and sweating. She probably had never seen a student injured like that at school. What did you guys do? What's the beginning and end of the story that everyone is so battered? Did you fight? She guessed right, but none of them dared to admit it. Taehyun after the fight brought the kids including Hyuksu to the infirmary. The teacher in the infirmary is also an awakened. With her healing ability, she healed the wounds for Taehyun and the other 3. Taehyun felt embarrassed but just let it go when he had to lie to the teacher. She asked why you guys were all injured, then he said we fell down the stairs, such a silly reason, but somehow she didn't ask anything else. After lying down and resting all afternoon, I'm fine now, it's late, it's time to leave school. Taehyun stepped out of the gate and still had the echo of this morning's incident in his head. Thinking back, it's amazing, I've awakened and even got revenge on Hyuksu. But the problem I'm wondering here is, the hunting skill and its power are really mysterious. It's not like other skills I've researched. Normally, rank is something that has to be practiced for a lifetime to change, but my skill increased after just one fight. Moreover, it's only rank F, but it has the power to surpass rank C. I can even steal the skills of those I defeat. It's like a rank bug, but probably not. Maybe the hunting skill is a rare skill, so it's not like the majority of other skills. Besides, why did that person, the self-proclaimed king, give me such power? Why did he revive me? There are many more talented people than me. Why did he choose me? Is it because I'm too pitiful, crazy? There are countless questions. I really want to know the answer, but the bottom line is there's one thing I have to do right now, more important than just asking myself like that is to learn about the concept of hunting first. I have to really understand my skill to apply it well. Taehyun walked up to a house, looking at it from the outside for a long time. It turned out this was the house where he had lived 16 years ago. The familiar feeling rushed back. It's been a long time since I've been home, I miss it so much. I wonder how everyone is doing now. By that, I mean my uncle's family, because after my parents died, I lived with my uncle while I was still in school. My uncle and aunt are quite old now, they only have one son. At this time, my uncle and aunt probably haven't come back from work yet. Usually, my uncle comes home late. While I'm home alone, I should probably look for information about similar skills. Taehyun pushed the door and entered the house, surprised by the appearance of some strangers. How did they get in here? Are they thieves? In front of him was a guy who looked like a gang leader, two followers who were all masked, one tall and sturdy but wearing shorts. He forgot to tie his pants, the other one was short and skinny. They seemed to be bullying Taehyun's cousin. "Ha, Jae-young, why aren't you in school? Who are these people, and what are you doing here?" Looking on the floor, there was a box of change that Jae-young had dropped. "What's going on, you jerk?" Before I returned, I remember he always wanted to be friends with other bullies. He even secretly stole all the money in the house, and caused a lot of trouble. At this time, the gang leader stood up and looked at Taehyun and asked, "Who's this guy?" Jae-young mumbled something to him. It turns out that the day Jae-young stole the money was this day. If I hadn't returned here, how could I have witnessed it? Why is he so stupid, conspiring with the bad guys to steal his parents' money? The gang leader feigned surprise. "Oh wow, I was wondering who that was. I heard so many questions. I thought you were a cop or something. Turns out you're Jae-young's cousin. It's easy to talk to acquaintances. Hello young man, if you don't want to get beaten, you'd better stay away, and pretend you don't know, okay? We'll take the money and leave right away. I'll spare you, don't be foolish and interfere with our business." He even came closer, patting Taehyun's head like a mischievous child. Probably because he saw him as gentle and student-like, so he asked Taehyun, "Hey, haven't you awakened yet? You're so weak." Taehyun also froze for 2 seconds looking at him, but his demeanor now is not as gentle as before. He smirked, "It's perfect, you came at just the right time. I'm about to check what it is." Hearing Taehyun say that, the gang leader still didn't understand what was going on. He thought Taehyun was so scared that he was talking nonsense. As quick as lightning, the young man punched him straight in the face, causing him to fall to the floor. He probably didn't think Taehyun would dare to act like that. A high school student dared to fight a gang leader like him, huh? Where are you two? Give him a beating. Seeing the gang leader get hit once and lying on the floor, the two followers and Taehyun's cousin were so scared that they were shaking. How could they dare to compete? The gang leader started to sweat, not knowing what Taehyun would do to him when he saw him start to raise his hand. He was scared, screaming and trying to turn his face to one side. "Hey, wait, spare me, I beg you, I'll leave now." Taehyun was pressing the gang leader down, activating the hunting skill. He wanted to test its power again. He was excited, because he was about to see the skill more clearly. This morning while hunting with Hyuksu, he was in a bad state so he didn't have time to observe much, and he was also curious about what he would collect from the gang leader's people. Unfortunately, the hunting function could not be activated. Taehyun was startled because he didn't understand why he couldn't summon the demonic energy anymore. What's going on? What's wrong with it? Should I hit it to know what's going on? The gang leader was both happy and scared. Taehyun tried again but the result was the same, the hunting could not be activated. Seeing an opportunity to turn the tables, the gang leader immediately flipped the script. "Are you joking with me, you crazy guy? Dare to hit me, who do you think you are? I thought you had some scary moves." While cursing, he punched Taehyun in the face, causing him to fly backward. At this point, the two followers dared to rush up to support the gang leader, thinking that Taehyun was a formidable guy who walked into the house with a cool face, and even knocked down the gang leader first. Who would have thought this kid was just a fake awakened? The three of them coordinated, a triple sword combination. The first one used a level C binding skill. Red-hot iron chains were thrown out to bind the enemy. The second one used a level C poison skill. He could blow out streams of poison gas that would kill the opponent. The gang leader used a level C bleeding skill. He threw sharp spikes towards Taehyun. Just imagining it is enough to see how powerful these three moves are when combined. Knowing that he was about to be beaten up, Taehyun also tried to stand up to counterattack. But at such a close distance, he didn't have much time to think, and he hadn't had any fighting experience before, so he couldn't do anything. He just stared at them as they aimed their moves at him. The fiery collision caused Jae-young's house to light up, as if it was about to blow the roof off. The three skills of the gangsters intertwined, the poisonous gas enveloped the outside, while inside, the iron chains and sharp spikes were constantly attacking Taehyun. It's really funny, how can a non-awakened dare to pretend to be awakened? Doesn't he know his position? I'll kill you. They were teaching Taehyun a lesson when suddenly the gang leader felt something was wrong. From inside the poisonous gas, he saw a strange red light shining. Taehyun had felt the use of the skill. Binding, poison, bleeding were confirmed. Thanks to the mysterious power, he successfully resisted. Now their moves can no longer affect Taehyun. Enough joking. Finally, Taehyun was able to stand up. He still didn't understand why it didn't work all of a sudden, and then arbitrarily disabled the skills. Seeing that the enemy was not hurt at all, the two thugs thought it would be best to run, because if they stayed here and fought a little more, they would lose money and get hurt. They bullied the wrong person this time. You guys have been hitting me a lot, now it's my turn. I don't know what happened. But I'm sure this thing is strong. That sentence, along with Taehyun's cold face in the hunting skill, was enough to make the gangsters never dare to mention his name again. Taehyun had finished dealing with them all. The three of them were also bruised and unconscious. Now I guess I've learned two things, right? The stats window can only be seen by the awakened. The detailed information of the awakened will be detailed in here, although there are still a few missing. But looking at it roughly, my current stats are: Power level 3, Physical Strength 6, Speed 5, Mana 10, Weakness 71%, Magic 10 out of 10, Hunting Skill E, need 5 mana to use, Stone Skin Skill E, need 1 mana. That means, first of all, from just now until now, my mana is enough to activate the hunting skill, but it doesn't turn on. In other words, in the description, it only writes the mana condition, but to activate the hunting, it must be affected by other factors besides mana. In addition, the innate ability of the hunting skill, which is not mentioned in the description, is that it resists and neutralizes skills related to abnormal conditions such as poisoning or bleeding. That's why I wasn't hurt by the moves of these three jerks. But whether it's right or wrong, I'll find out gradually. I have to try it several times before I might know how to apply it. But now there's something more important that I need to do. It seems like today is the day. As Taehyun was thinking about it, he saw Jae-young kneeling in front of him. Hey, what are you doing? He pleaded with his cousin. Brother, after witnessing your character, I was impressed. You're awesome. I will self-criticize my actions, please forgive me this time. From now on, I will listen to you, I won't assist the bullies anymore. Even if you want me to lick your shoes, or bark like a dog, I will do whatever you tell me to. Taehyun was speechless with him. This pathetic guy. I knew he was cunning from the old days, but who would have thought it would come to this? Anyway, there's no point in arguing with him. Because anyway, there's an urgent matter that will happen today. After Jae-young barked a few times, he was surprised and happy to hear his cousin forgive him this time. But Taehyun said the main condition is that you have to come here with me to settle a matter. If you help me, I will forgive you. In another development, a factory area has been sealed off. They put up a sign saying this is a restricted area, no entry allowed. Surely there is something dangerous inside, only those assigned or with special tasks are allowed to enter. Not wrong, inside that gate, there are 3 people assigned to monitor this place. They are staring at the glowing thing in front of them. It's a star crack gate. The crack gate is a phenomenon where monsters appear when a crack suddenly opens, creating a path leading to the abyss. If not handled, it will lead to a dungeon disaster. At that time, a man wearing glasses who looked quite elegant was standing looking at the crack gate and told the other 2 that, it's been 10 years since I've seen a dungeon crack. The gate was suddenly created, so the monsters flocked here to harm humans. The girl in the white shirt also hurriedly replied, looking at the monsters, we can see that if we sit still and do nothing, the dungeon disaster will happen soon. Should we evacuate the people in the surrounding area? They are worried for a reason. For the safety of the people, it's better to prepare safety measures. But the guy said no need to evacuate, because he completely trusts his B-level barrier skill. As soon as the crack opened, he had encapsulated this area. Besides, the level of this crack gate is only C. It means that among the monsters in the abyss, the strongest monster that can pass through the sea-level gate will be a sea-level monster. In other words, even if a dungeon crisis occurs, it's okay, his strength is above the boss monster here, so there's nothing to worry about. Suddenly the girl screamed, Captain, watch out behind you. He turned around and saw that the barrier seemed to be unable to hold anymore. The monsters were jostling each other, they wanted to spill out. But he was still calm and even said that we, the B rank, will be more than capable of dealing with these rotten monsters. As for Taehyun and his cousin Jae-young, they are definitely running towards the crack gate. Jae-young wondered, I have nothing to do with this, and there are people watching over it, so isn't it okay now? What are we going there for? You said there are control staff there, right? So it's fine, right? As they ran, Jae-young kept mumbling and calling out, which annoyed Taehyun. Be quiet, can you stop calling me? Don't you want to help me? To answer his cousin's question, Taehyun said, You're right, based on a rough estimate of mana, it's a sea-level crack gate. Moreover, the control staff are all B-rank hunters, so they won't have any problems dealing with sea-level monster opponents. That's right, that's what I mean. You worry too much. Taehyun said it's not that simple. If it really was a sea-level dungeon, I wouldn't be running with you like this. Even the people monitoring there can't predict this. There was just a battle there, a few monsters have crawled out of the barrier, the B-rank hunters have killed quite a few of them, but it won't stop there. The monitor was complacent earlier, confident in the sea level of the crack and not on guard. Now he's starting to worry. Strange, how can these low-level monsters tear my B-level barrier to pass through? Does the mana overflowing from here exceed my rank? It means the forecast about the gate is inaccurate. The team leader of the monitoring team remembered when the girl warned that something inside the gate was crawling out. When he turned around, he saw that the barrier had a problem. With the weight and pressure of the monsters inside, the B-level barrier began to crack. The thing inside is very large, it will break the safety barrier and crawl out, leading to a disaster for the entire city. What is that monster? It's not like sea level as they received information. The final barrier couldn't stand it anymore, it was completely broken, the ferocious monsters with many levels, from behind rushed out. Each one is scary and bloodthirsty. They are all giant A-level trolls. Not sea level. But A-level. With that number and strength, the three of them will not be able to resist. A bloody melee took place, this place will be destroyed, in just a few hours, this entire city will be massacred. While Taehyun was rushing to get there, Jae-young still didn't believe and kept asking, Brother, suppose you're right, but this is ridiculous, how do you know all this, can you predict the future? It's tiring, it's because I've been through this. Don't ask anymore, trust me. Don't tell me it's your intuition, how can you know in advance that the monsters will attack? Yeah, my intuition tells me so, it says if you don't shut up, the monster will eat you first. You're lying, are you trying to trick me? While scolding his cousin, Jae-young stood still. At this point, he would know whether his cousin was lying to him or not, right? Everyone was running away, screaming, crying for help, the roar of monsters, the sound of footsteps, run, it's the crack gate, save me. Seeing the horrifying scene in front of him, Jae-young turned pale, so scared that his face had no blood left. Taehyun immediately told him to do as he had instructed earlier quickly. Jae-young wondered why his cousin didn't go with him. This place is dangerous, what are you doing here? Me? I will deal with those bastards and then follow you right away. Just trust me and go do your thing. After saying that, Taehyun activated his stone skin skill and bravely moved forward, determined to fight to the death with those monsters. He didn't know how talented his cousin was, but his younger cousin was extremely worried. This time it was a fight with monsters, not a fight with thugs like this afternoon. Not long after the monitors detected the incident, and the monsters rushed out to attack the people, the information about the dungeon changes was sent back to the head at the Hunter Management Building. He was standing with his hands clasped behind his back, looking far away and said, The situation is deteriorating rapidly, just as you said. The crack gate that was supposed to be sea level turned out to be A level, and we don't have ready support to aid now, because everyone else is busy conquering dungeons and exploring the abyss. We are short of people, so the only way to solve this crisis now is to have an A-rank awakened come there. And you are our only hope, please help us. The A-rank awakened who was asked for help was Hyun-soo, nicknamed the Berserk Sword. It seems that he was extremely moved at this time, so much so that 2 lines of tears flowed down like 2 rivers. It turns out that the reason was because he had puberty syndrome, so he was like that. He muttered to himself, Everyone wait for me, the hero Hyun-soo will be here soon. As for the monsters, after they rushed out from the crack, they attacked quite a few people. Many people died, others were injured. If it wasn't for a high-level awakened, no one would dare to confront them. While everyone was running to a safe shelter, Taehyun was going against the crowd, staying to block the monsters. He intended to use his stone skin skill to physically attack them. Then he would use the ultimate hunting move to collect the remaining skills and vitality of the monsters. This is beneficial in 2 ways, first it helps keep people safe, second it is an opportunity to rank up and practice skills. Moreover, Taehyun had experienced this before, the outcome of the crack gate accident was very tragic so he wanted to contribute a bit of his strength to fix the past. At least it helps someone, kills a monster less. Finally, he managed to kill quite a few. Taehyun also learned a few lessons, just as I thought. Hunting is not successful due to the level of exhaustion. My current level of exhaustion is 52%. If the level of exhaustion exceeds 70 as before at home, it will no longer function. Usually, most skills are activated based on the use of mana, but that doesn't mean you only have to worry about mana. There is one more thing, that is the level of exhaustion. This index is not fixed but will change continuously. The level of exhaustion will increase when using a skill or some physical activity. If the level of exhaustion is higher, then the body will be more tired, then the power of the skill will decrease, and the body movement will feel heavier. This skill is quite complicated. Unfortunately, there are many things to worry about, but I have found that if I absorb the vitality of a dying monster, I can recover mana. Then I can use the moves faster, simpler. Just like that, I have successfully hunted and recovered mana quite quickly. In addition, there's another good thing, my rank has changed to D. It's amazing, I didn't expect it to be so fast. My hunting skill has gone from E to D, and my stone skin has also upgraded to D, and now it's renamed to rock skin, which sounds cooler, doesn't it? I realized that the more I use hunting, the faster I will level up. So, I need to find more monsters or some thugs to hunt. At this rate, I can advance to S or even SS soon. No, maybe I will become the first SSS rank person. I like it. Fighting with the monsters from afternoon to evening, Taehyun looked around and saw that this place was basically done. Should I go back to Jae-young? While hesitating whether to go back to his cousin's house, Taehyun heard a monster's roar from behind. They're not all dead yet? He turned around and saw an A-rank monster being attacked by a hunter, causing it to fall from the top floor of a building to the ground. The voice of the hero rang out, "You filthy monster, I will make you pay for the lives you have taken. Pay with your life. Justice warrior, this Hyun-soo will punish you." Taehyun was extremely surprised and really admired this person. He's so strong, the moves he throws are also beautiful, the golden sword in his hand is very big, that must be a very powerful weapon. The monster is now in a passive state, it's falling freely so it can't dodge, it can only roar, swing a chaotic punch. The hunter skillfully applied the skill to the sword to continuously attack the monster. It was exhausted and could not resist this powerful force. The monster fell down, shaking everything around, like an earthquake. Its dying roar mixed with the light of the power of the berserk sword. This place was destroyed, the buildings around were collapsed, the ground was dusty, and Taehyun was like dead. How can that person easily kill an A-rank monster? He must be an A-rank awakened. Is he the one who single-handedly handled the crack gate before I returned? Berserk sword Hyun-soo, he's as strong as rumored, people praise him rightly. At this time, the A-rank hunter was standing on the corpse of the monster and praising himself. "I'm so excellent, the stupid monster just died under my justice sword." Somehow Taehyun felt this person was so silly. He's talented, but his actions are extremely strange. Many people also rumored that. But why is Hyun-soo here now? It's not like what happened before when I hadn't returned. Taehyun remembered that he had a bloody battle with a giant octopus on the other side of the city. Not to come here to kill the monster, and then stand and pray for the poor people who were killed by the monster. Suddenly at this moment, Taehyun felt the presence of some skill around here, making his hair stand on end. Suddenly, a mysterious man appeared from behind, he stabbed stealthily, the sword pierced through Hyun-soo's body while he was engrossed in praying. "Oh my god, who are you? How dare you? Hee, I caught you, Hyun-soo, you're definitely dead this time." Switching to another scene, also at that time, at a fashion store, where the monsters hadn't passed by, everything was still peaceful and tidy. The boy Jae-young was looking at a girl sleeping. Is this the task that his cousin gave him? The girl seemed to be sleeping very soundly and didn't know anything about what was happening around this area. Jae-young wondered if this was really okay, it felt so strange. He remembered his cousin's words in the afternoon. He said that tonight many people would be killed. One of those people is our school nurse, Ms. Choi Na-young. She will die while focusing on treating people instead of evacuating. Can you use your sleep skill to make people sleep? If so, make Choi Na-young fall asleep, then evacuate her to a safe place. Just help like that is enough. I will take care of the rest. That's what his cousin told Jae-young while they were running towards the monsters. But Jae-young was still in shock, not understanding how Taehyun could know all this. From the fact that there would be a crack there, to the fact that it was not sea level, and even knowing that the teacher would die. Could it be a prophecy? His cousin has the ability to see through the future and know in advance the details of everything? Probably not, it doesn't sound reasonable, he's not that supernatural, but apart from that, there's no other explanation. It must be so. Taehyun, no, I should call him Big Brother Taehyun. He has awakened a skill that can see the future. Seeing in advance everything that will happen in the future, it's amazing, it's crazy, I'm going crazy. If so, listening to him, everything will be fine. Reminded by his cousin, Taehyun sneezed a few times. I just remembered, how is he doing? Damn it, something is very wrong here. After being stabbed by the mysterious man, Hyun-soo could still force himself to turn around and see who was attacking him. Who are you? Speak up. The man sneered and said, you were stabbed right in the weak point and you're still alive. Surprising, A-rank hunters are really different, aren't they? Then the hunt will be more interesting. That pervert is a B-rank villain, Han Sang-do, with a B-rank hiding skill. He is also an awakened, but he has criminal behavior, unlike other awakened, so they call such people villains. And among them, B-rank villain Han Sang-do is a crazy murderer. While the gate was broken, monsters poured out, he went around killing people for excitement. But the problem here is that Taehyun is sure he has never met him before he returned. Does it mean the future has changed because of me? My actions in this past have made the events unfold differently. You bastard, you are a villain. I will punish you with my own hands. Hyun-soo intended to rush to kill the villain, but for some reason, the stones at the rubble started to fly up, as if something was sucking them into the air. Both Hyun-soo and the villain were stunned by this strange scene. At that moment, the monster's hand earlier had signs of movement. Suddenly it raised its hand and turned over, so it hadn't died, it just fainted. It sat up, roared because it saw the enemy still standing there, standing on it. Hyun-soo quickly jumped far away to dodge the monster's attack. It had turned into a giant ogre. The villain also backed off, but he seemed very excited about this. He laughed with delight because he saw the monster's recovery ability is really top-notch. A-rank monsters are different. The ogre monster stood up and chased after the two preys. Hyun-soo tried to swing his sword to control it, while the other guy did nothing. He dodged to one side and laughed. What you're doing is useless, I'll leave the monster to you, Hyun-soo. At this point, the villain noticed Taehyun was standing watching everything. I didn't think I would have an audience here, you're brave. Then it's even better, the more prey the better, I've been wanting to kill you. After saying that, he stuck out his tongue and rushed to cut a blow at Taehyun's neck just to satisfy his killing hobby.